The soft revolution, when $2,000 and no plan becomes a blueprint for freedom. Welcome, beautiful souls, to the Soft Girl Era podcast, where we create sacred space for high achieving Black women to exhale, heal, and reclaim the softness they deserve. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dole, like sweet softness whispered in French. And today I'm honored to share insights from an extraordinary conversation I had with Vonda Richardson, a woman whose journey from absolute uncertainty to thriving success is nothing short of miraculous. Vonda Richardson arrived in America 9 years ago with two children, one autistic, $2,000 in her pocket, and no plan, just unshakable determination that she would make a way where there was none. Today, she's on the payroll of three major US companies with a thriving career. Her kids are grown, and she's in the process of purchasing her first home. Vonda's story isn't just about survival, it's about the soft, passionate persistence that transforms hopelessness into legacy, and her impact on making the world a better place lies in her refusal to let adversity define her ending, inspiring countless women to rewrite their own narratives with courage and grace. Let's be honest. Most of us have been taught that strength looks like a clenched fist, a stiff upper lip, a cape we never take off. We've been conditioned to believe that softness equals weakness, that rest is laziness, that asking for help is failure. But what if I told you that the most revolutionary act a Black woman can commit in this world is to choose softness, to embrace determination without sacrificing her peace, to say no without guilt, and to rest without explanation? What if the real superpower isn't in how much you can carry, but in how gracefully you can put it down? Vonda Richardson's journey embodies this truth. When I sat down with her, she shared that her core message centers on adversity and determination when everything else seems hopeless. She spoke about losses, single parenting, being an autism mom, relocating to a foreign country, and surviving abuse. These aren't just buzzwords or talking points. These are the lived realities of so many Black women who are listening right now, women who have been grinding so hard for so long that they've forgotten what it feels like to simply breathe. From our conversation, Vonda emphasized three critical truths that I want you to hold on to, truths that can shift your entire perspective on what it means to thrive in the face of adversity. First, embrace relentless determination as your superpower, even when losses pile up and hope fades. One determined step forward rewires your reality, whether you're single parenting through chaos or navigating abuse. Determination isn't about being loud or aggressive, it's about being consistent. It's about waking up every single day and choosing to move forward, even when the path is unclear. It's about understanding that your current struggle is not your permanent address, it's temporary housing on the way to your palace. Second, turn motherhood's heaviest loads into fuel. Being an autism mom or relocating with kids isn't a setback. It's the forge that builds unbreakable resilience and legacy. Motherhood, especially under extraordinary circumstances, teaches us how to love fiercely, advocate relentlessly, and create miracles out of limited resources. It's not the burden, it's the training ground for greatness. Every meltdown you manage, every IEP meeting you attend, every night you fall asleep exhausted and wake up determined, you're not just surviving, you're building an empire of resilience that your children will inherit. Third, claim you're thriving no matter the start. From $2,000 and no plan to multiple corporate paychecks and home ownership, hopelessness bows to soft, passionate persistence. Your beginning does not dictate your ending. Your current circumstances are not your final destination. You have the power to rewrite the narrative, and the pen is already in your hand. You just have to give yourself permission to use it. Now, let me bring this to life with some real stories, stories of Black women who have walked similar paths and emerged victorious not because they were superhuman, but because they refused to let hopelessness have the final word. Let's talk about Oprah Winfrey. Born into rural Mississippi poverty to a teenage single mother, Oprah endured childhood sexual abuse, extreme poverty, single parenting stigma, and racial discrimination while relocating from Mississippi to Tennessee for opportunities. At 14, after abuse by family members, she moved to live with her father, who instilled discipline. A teen pregnancy loss fueled her drive. She channeled determination into education and entry level media jobs, persisting through firings and rejections by honing her authentic voice. In 1986, she launched The Oprah Winfrey Show, revolutionizing daytime television. She founded Harpo Productions, becoming the first Black female billionaire. Her impact, empowering millions of Black women via philanthropy and the OWN network, normalizing triumph over trauma. Oprah's story mirrors Vonda Richardson's relocation, single parenting abuse, and determination fueled career ascent. It perfectly aligns with thriving from hopelessness as a Black woman. But here's what most people miss about Oprah's story: it wasn't the big break that changed her life, it was the daily decision to show up authentically, even when the world told her she was too Black, too fat, too emotional, too much. She turned her too much into more than enough. Then there's Serena Williams, a Black tennis icon and mother who overcame life threatening health crises post childbirth, single parenting elements, and racial abuse in sports. After birthing her daughter, Serena experienced a postpartum pulmonary embolism, career losses, body shaming, and relocation pressures amid elite sports racism. She grew up in Compton's violence, trained by her single mom, Oracene. Her post 2017 birth complications echoed single mom resilience. Through relentless physical therapy, mental fortitude, and family determination, she returned stronger, balancing motherhood with professional grind. She won another Grand Slam while advocating for maternal health. She secured 23 Grand Slams, launched Serena Ventures, investing in diverse founders, smashing records while mommying fiercely. Her impact transformed tennis diversity and Black maternal health advocacy, inspiring entrepreneurs facing bodily and systemic adversity. Serena's story echoes autism mom and single parenting, health losses, abuse like racism, and relocation grit, directly fueling the kind of multi company success Vonda Richardson achieved. But what strikes me most about Serena is that she didn't wait until she was healed to be powerful. She was powerful in her healing. She showed up on that court, stitches still fresh, body still recovering, and said, "Watch me anyway. That's soft power. That's the revolution." And we cannot forget Madam C.J. Walker, the first self made female millionaire in America, a Black widow and single mother who relocated amid hair loss, illness, and poverty. Orphaned young, widowed at 20, leaving her a single mom, she suffered a severe scalp ailment, relocated from Louisiana to Colorado, seeking opportunity with scant resources. She fled an abusive sharecropping life, single parented her daughter Alelia while washing hair. A vision in a dream sparked her formula. She experimented tirelessly with hair products, built a door to door business through sheer determination despite segregation and skepticism. She amassed a fortune, employed thousands of Black women. She scaled to factories and salons nationwide, trained 40,000 agents, crowning herself queen of the Walker system. Her impact pioneered Black female entrepreneurship, funding NAACP anti lynching efforts, and community uplift. Madam Walker's story captures single parenting, relocation with minimal funds, health and loss adversity, and abuse era racism overcome by determination, a blueprint for the kind of U.S. career and homeownership when Vonda Richardson is living. What I love about Madam Walker is that she didn't just build wealth, she built a movement. She understood that her freedom was tied to the freedom of every Black woman she employed, every agent she trained, every dollar she funneled back into the community. She knew that thriving alone is just survival with better furniture. Real thriving lifts as it climbs. These stories, Oprah's unyielding voice, Serena's comeback fire, Madam Walker's empire from ashes, they're not just history lessons. They're mirrors reflecting what's possible when determination meets softness, when we refuse to let our circumstances write our conclusions. They're proof that the narrative you were handed doesn't have to be the story you tell. But here's the thing, and I need you to really hear me on this. Determination without softness is just another form of survival mode. It's just another way to burn out. The soft girl era isn't about abandoning your hustle, it's about redefining what strength looks like. It's about learning to say no without guilt. It's about setting boundaries without apology. It's about resting without explanation. It's about embracing healing, wholeness, softness, and emotional honesty as non negotiables. Vonda Richardson's journey from $2,000 and no plan to thriving on three corporate payrolls didn't happen because she worked herself into the ground. It happened because she combined relentless determination with the wisdom to protect her peace, to prioritize her children, to honor her own humanity, even when the world demanded she be superhuman. She understood that you can't pour from an empty cup. But more importantly, she understood that refilling your cup isn't selfish, it's strategic. And that's the shift I want you to make today. Stop treating rest like a reward you have to earn. Stop treating softness like a luxury you can't afford. Stop treating boundaries like betrayal. Your peace is not a prize for good behavior, it's a prerequisite for sustainable success. So, what do I want you to do differently after hearing this? I want you to take one determined step today. Audit your adversities, then act. Journal your make a way plan. Seek one mentorship. Relocate that dream despite the fear. Single moms, autism warriors, survivors, start small, persist softly, passionately. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to take the next step. And here's the secret: the next step doesn't have to be big, it just has to be intentional. Write down three things you're no longer willing to carry. Not next week, not after the holidays, today, right now. Three roles, responsibilities, or narratives that are draining you dry. Then, and this is the hard part, give yourself permission to put them down. Not forever, maybe, but for now, for this season, for your sanity. And how do I want you to feel during and after this conversation? Empowered, hopeful, softly fierce. I want you to feel tears of recognition turning to fire, knowing that your hopelessness is temporary, your determination eternal. I want you to feel permission, permission to rest, permission to heal, permission to redefine strength on your own terms. I want you to feel seen, not as the strong Black woman who can handle everything, but as the whole human being who deserves softness, support, and sacred rest. Because here's the truth that nobody tells you: your beginning does not dictate your ending. Your trauma does not define your trajectory. Your losses do not limit your legacy. You are not too broken to be whole. You are not too tired to thrive. You are not too late to start over. And you are certainly not too much. You've just been surrounded by people who are too little to handle your magnitude. Vonda Richardson proved that. Oprah proved that. Serena proved that. Madam C.J. Walker proved that. And now it's your turn. The soft girl era is the sacred pause Black women have been waiting for. It's not a trend, it's a lifestyle rebellion, a deep exhale from the Superwoman script, a quiet but powerful return to softness, rest, self trust, and radical joy. This podcast gives voice to the high achieving, overextended Black woman who's finally choosing herself, not out of burnout, but out of reverence. So here's my challenge to you: And I mean this with every fiber of my being. Stop waiting for permission to be soft. Stop waiting for the right time to rest. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that you've done enough, that you've earned your peace, that you deserve your joy. You were born deserving. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, including yourself. Take one step today, just one. Audit your adversities. Write down your make away plan. Reach out for one mentorship. Relocate that dream you've been too scared to chase. Start small, persist softly, persist passionately, and watch what happens when determination meets grace, when hustle meets healing, when survival mode transforms into soft girl era. Because the world doesn't need another strong Black woman who's silently suffering behind her success. The world needs you, whole, healed, rested, and radiating the kind of soft power that changes everything it touches. The world needs your voice, your vision, your vulnerability. The world needs you to stop performing strength and start embodying wholeness. Vonda Richardson walked into America with $2,000, two kids, one autistic, and no plan. Today, she's thriving on three corporate payrolls, raising grown children, and buying her first home. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's determination meeting softness. That's survival transformed into legacy. That's what happens when a Black woman decides that hopelessness doesn't get the final word. So I'm asking you right now, what's your $2,000 moment? What's the thing you're walking into with no plan, just faith and determination? What's the dream you're too scared to name out loud? What's the life you're building in secret, hoping no one notices until it's too magnificent to ignore? Name it, claim it, build it, and do it softly, passionately, unapologetically because you deserve more than survival. You deserve to thrive. You deserve softness. You deserve rest. You deserve joy. You deserve peace. You deserve to reclaim the parts of yourself you've been sacrificing for everyone else. You deserve your soft girl era. And when you step into it, when you finally give yourself permission to be whole instead of just strong, when you choose softness over suffering, when you redefine power on your own terms, you won't just change your life. You'll change your lineage. You'll break generational cycles. You'll become the ancestor your descendants pray to. You'll become the blueprint for every Black woman watching you, wondering if she can do it too. The answer is yes, she can, and so can you. Now go build your empire softly, passionately, and without apology.